You're such an asshole.
All right, we have a pretty good question, especially for any younger person, male, female, doesn't matter. This guy happens to be a guy, but anyone when you're younger, you're gonna have this like, especially if you're an empiricist, you'd be like, why don't they get off the train tracks? Why don't they dodge the train as it's barreling down? Why are they calling me names or telling them there's a train coming? And why aren't they listening to me about a housing crash or a dot-com bubble? I have experience in trying to get people to come off the train track, and not only do they not want to get off the train track, they call me hurtful names for telling them to get off the train track. And it's a fascinating but macabre and sad fact about Western civilization, maybe all human, I'm definitely saying Western civilization, that the sooner you learn this, the less frustrated you will be trying to negotiate, reason, argue, debate with people. And the sooner you will get to my jaded misanthropic viewpoint that the vast majority of humans not only are NPCs and cattle, but should be treated as such. And to the point that I concluded several years ago that you have every moral right to take advantage of people who just it's one thing if they're being lied to. It's another thing when you're trying to tell them the truth and for their own good, and then they want to take your job or get you fired, or they call you Istanism, and you're like, yeah, you know what? You're cattle. You are to be taken advantage of. Moo. And that's where I am. So let's go through this young man's question. I forgot to. I wish you would have let me use the lady. I would have loved to highlight this girl's channel. She would have loved to got the traffic. But it's stereotypical, but you don't want me to mention it. That's fine. Hi, Aaron. Keep me anonymous in this request. I was on YouTube and came across a girl who made a video about a topic I'm not going to go into because it would identify her, but defending the merits of the liberal arts and the social sciences. In this particular case, her major, which is one of the dumbest majors out there, quite literally. And if you look at IQ, they're one of the dumbest majors. But in terms of practicality, it's an absolutely horrible choice. And you can learn that for free at the library, and you will still have the same employment prospects. Especially now with the internet, you don't even need to, you could just start a channel. And if I can guarantee you she'll make more money with her channel than she will going and studying that thing. I gave her sources on how, with a liberal arts degree, the only way of finding employment is by having practical minors with an excellent resume with internship, externships, and experiential learning and or graduate degrees in practical areas such as law, medicine, MBA, dental school, and so on and so forth. This girl thinks I'm spreading lies. What did I tell you about being called bad things? She's calling you a liar, and you are literally trying to prevent her from destroying her financial life. I mean, I've been trying to prevent people, young kids, from majoring in stupid stuff since like 2011, whenever Worthless came out. Oh, and the amount of hell just don't try and do anybody any favors. Let them suffer. How do I prove my point to these people that without these skills, employment is hard to come by? And so I said, well, I guess my first question is, why are you arguing with this girl? I know it's because you disagree with her, but what is your aim in winning an argument with her? Also, do you have a link? And God, oh yeah, stereotypical 19-year-old. Oh, I'm so intelligent with my Rachel Maddow glasses. It's just, yeah. And you know what? What's sad? She may be smarter than you think, buddy, because she's pretty enough. She's not pretty, but she's pretty enough, especially for Gen Z standards. And OMG, she's just so smart and witty that she could actually make a lot of money off of this channel. There's a chance, just so it makes it feel any better. She may not agree with it. This may be all shtick. It could be Operation Evil. She could be lying to her audience saying, oh yeah, you go, you do whatever. This could be Oprah. And she's just getting by, and she's like, oh, everyone should follow their heart, and money will follow. Give me money. Look up Stacey Green. This could be Stacey Green minus the big boobs. Just saying. So there's the link, and you look, it's like, yeah, okay, stereotypical dad wasn't doing anything. My aim is to say that the only realistic paths to employability are practical minors with a killer resume filled with internships, externships, study, blah, blah, blah. She tells that liberal arts majors also catch up with STEM majors in terms of income. No, she is dumb. Yes, she is. All right, so your aim is to spread the truth, okay? So here's what you got to realize. Okay, this is the larger point. We'll talk about why, in this particular case, young girls, though a lot of young guys too, you're not going to convince them of that. You are not going to convince people of things they don't want to be convinced of. Right? That's what I've figured out with humans. Right? Humans, when given the choice of being told something that is uncomfortable, although true, versus something that is a lie and will absolutely ruin their lives and make it a lot more uncomfortable for them in the future, if at the present it feels good, they will take the lie. Damn near 95% of the time. Right? And with that, and what I'm saying is that they are intellectual cowards. At somehow on a deep level, yes, she does know that. It's true. Everyone kind of does. Why are people poor? Well, usually because you have more kids than you could afford. But no one has the courage or the balls or the intellectual personal strength to acknowledge that and then face up to the fact that they are now responsible, because they're acknowledging what takes in the real world, that they are responsible for future added work in order to go ahead and achieve what they'd like to achieve. That could be hitting. How do you lose weight? You hit the gym and you don't eat what you want. How do I find a guy? You be nice, you hit the gym, you be thin, whatever. How do I get the girls? You go to the gym, you lift a lot of weights, and you have to play a stupid game. No one really likes that. How do you make money? You work hard and you don't major in stupid things. But like I said, 95% of humans are such cowards and weaklings that they would prefer to be told the pleasant lie than the hard truth, because it doesn't matter how much the lies destroy their lives in the future. They want to believe in that so much. And so, and you can see this everywhere. Like, what are you going to have a better time selling? Ice cream or broccoli? You're going to sell the ice cream. Liberal arts majors or STEM majors? Liberal arts majors. You're going to sell someone like, hey, you should become an accountant, balance debits and credits, or a mechanic, or you're going to change the world. This is a social justice major or teacher or some other. I am dead. God save them. I like the children. And the larger point is that when no one has the desire to be intellectually honest, and that's an important phrase you should learn, is intellectual honesty, meaning you're being honest with yourself and others, like you argue in good faith, like you have an argument and a debate with someone trying to resolve X. All right, well, let's find out what X is. Usually those debates aren't even adversarial or controversial. They're just two people trying to figure out what is X. But when they have no desire to be intellectually honest, they have no desire to find out the truth, you are wasting your time. Like, I'll give you another example. Religion in general. Why do most people believe in religion? Because they believe that God, Allah, Yahweh. No, because they're afraid that they will end. They're afraid there is no afterlife. And there's other reasons to believe in religion. So you belong to something. You want to belong to a team. You want to believe you're right. But deep down inside, people are deathly afraid, as they should be, because it's death, that they're finite and this will all end. And they want to believe that their God in the sky is the right God and everyone else will burn. And when you try and reason with them, like, well, look, ain't none of it. And I'm all open for it. I'm all open. Anytime somebody religious wants to show me empirical, scientific method, proven proof that not only God exists, but your God he's the guy, whoever it might be, Buddha, I don't care. Until then, you're not convincing me. Right? But they will get, oh, you're a heretic, you're going to burn, kill the non-believer, kill the Philistine, whatever. And that's what you're running into here. You are not dealing with reasonable, rational people. And above all else, in this particular lady's case, you're not dealing with someone who gives a damn about the truth. She desperately wants to believe that her degree is going to have value, that she is not wasting her time, and above all, on top of it, that she is smart, because she is going to college. That is true, but she is not intelligent, because only stupid people choose that degree. That's not an opinion. Well, You could be very intelligent and choose a stupid degree, but then that's still a mistake. Let's put it that way. Now, as it pertains to this particular thing, because you're young, you're in the thick of it, you're addressing college. This is a young lady defending her poor college choice in the liberal arts in general. And college disproportionately affects women because more women are going to college than men. Let me tell you also what you're running into in this particular thing. What you are trying to sell them, I mean, think of it, you're a salesman, all right? And there's two competing messages, yours and hers. Your message requires hard work, more school, accepting you might have to deal with poverty, or that you might be wrong in choosing this degree. All right? You're not going to get a lot of people wanting to buy into your message. And they're going to be calling you a lot of names, even though you are the one trying to help them. You're the better. I can tell you this, you're the better moral person here. There's no doubt about that. She's the evil one, whether she's aware of that or not. She's a harmful one. Her message is, you can major in whatever you want, and fun and happiness and flowers. You're going to change the world. And and you could just see, the dad was not there. She's like, oh my God, I'm just so intelligent because I have a channel. And I'm a sort of pretty mom, pretty for Gen Z. And she's selling the ice cream. And people are like, oh yeah, I'm intelligent, I'm smart. Oh my gosh, all these idiots saying this. Oh, and we catch up with the STEM majors. No, you don't. No, you really don't. Not by a long shot, not unless you're using boomer math. Hang on. All right, so that's one reason you're not going to win this argument. You're not going to lose it. Technically, you've won it because you're right, all right? But she's never going to admit defeat. You're not going to convince her. You're not going to convince her audience because your message isn't the one people want to hear. All right, here's another reason. And this is where I kind of will give forgiveness to everybody. Who is sending the message? See, and you got to imagine if you're the typical 19-year-old girl who's been brought up from the suburbs and dad never told her no. I mean, because if you're a real loving dad, you would not let your son or daughter major in such a stupid degree. You wouldn't pay for it either. But that's not present, obviously. And you have to understand that there's you, and you're probably the sole voice saying, don't do this. You're not even saying don't major in, but that you have to accompany this degree with a lot of extra work and advanced degrees and all that. You're just a guy. You're the party pooper. You're like me when I started talking balanced budgets and numbers and economics and facts at parties when people brought up economics and politics. I was not a popular person. I was right. Oh, God, was I right? But that didn't make me popular, right? But I was right. I won the argument. I knew it back at the time too. I won the argument, but it didn't make me popular. But who are the other people sending the other message? Well, the other message as it pertains to worthless college degrees is it's everyone else. And it's the authority. It's parents, teachers, media, government, politicians. The dissenting voice, the underground voice, the actual cool kids, the ones where people actually think, they're the underground. They're already painted to be bigoted or misogynist. Anytime you tell a girl not to make a mistake and ruin her life with a financially crippling decision to major in something stupid, somehow that makes you the sexist, when it's like, no, actually it's quite the opposite when I'm trying to help them. But you're one kid, and you're probably the nerdy kid. Oh, he's just a party pooper, right? They have their parents, their teachers, the professors, their guidance counselors, politicians, media. We're talking, oh God, 2/3 of the economy, 2/3 of the institutions, multiple trillions of dollars of institutions with easily trillions of dollars spent in terms of advertising. Are you lending her money? Are you giving her an interest-free loan? You're not. Are you telling her she's brave and intelligent and amazing because you have a doctorate, whatever the degree is? You don't have a doctorate. You're not her teacher. You're not her parents. Well, you are not an authority at all. Now, you're right. Get used to this, buddy. The authorities, the establishment, the society, they're wrong. But she's not going to, your credentials don't hold up. You know, same thing in the .com, or not the .com, well, that too, the housing crisis. I was just a lowly credit analyst. I only had a bachelor's degree. For every one of me, that was saying there's a housing crisis coming. There were at least 1,000 people with PhDs and master's degrees who were all higher ranked, all worked at Wall Street and the government, saying nothing was going to happen. All right. And if you were a nobody, if you were an idiot, who would you listen to? Well, obviously you go with the people who are more credentialed. They're in Wall Street. They're in the government. They have a PhD. I was still right. Society was wrong. Doesn't matter. It's the credentials. You have none. And this is where, unfortunately, we're going to have yet another generation of young kids, this time disproportionately women, who are going to go to college for worthless degrees and major in dumb crap and cripple themselves financially, just like the generation of millennials before them did. Because this is obvious. You look at her, she's gone. There's no brain there. He's not thinking. And anytime you try to stop that, I mean, have you been called a misogynist yet? Have you been, because you're trying to ruin their dreams? And so this is why you're trying to argue with a young girl. Young girls are now doubled down with a little dose of feminism where it's like, you don't tell me what to do, and I'm strong and brave. And then you are not going to counter that propaganda and indoctrination. You like the resources, you like the consistent volume, you like the numbers, and you like the credentials and the credits. And so what you need to learn, and this is the one thing you can gain from this, is that going forward, there's going to be more and more instances that you run into as an adult where there are people who simply don't want to be convinced of what they don't want to be convinced of. You could tell the person to quit smoking. You could tell the person to quit drinking. You could tell the fat guy to stop eating. They're not going. You could tell the wife to lose weight to get her husband to stop cheating. They don't want to hear it. Heck, a lot of times with asshole consulting, it's guys coming up to me. Is there a way avoiding hard work and toil that I can achieve success? No, there is not. They're always trying to. They don't want to hear the truth, which is why I charge so much. But the only person to save here is you. And you probably ran into that. Everyone's run into it. Your friend is doing something wrong. You love your friend. You care about your friend. You want him to do right. Whatever. I don't know what it is. And you try and tell them, no, you should really get out of that situation. And they don't listen to you. And then they stay in that situation. And you might get angry. You're wasting your energy. It's not your fault. Above all else, this is not your responsibility. And that's why I said, well, why do you want to win this argument? And you just want to prove her wrong. That's not possible. So you have to now logically conclude, since she is not able or willing to admit to truth or reason or evidence, she just wants to believe in what she wants to believe. You are the one that's the fool, thinking you're going to, continuing. Like, I understand what you're trying to do and you're smart enough. I get that. But to continue trying to argue with this person, let alone some other person who is an ideologue, meaning the ideology comes first, or a zealot, meaning their religion or their ideology comes first, and regardless of data or empiricism or facts, you are the one that is making the mistake, and you're just getting all stressed and worked up about it, to the point you paid me to tell you how to convince her. I'll tell you now, there is no convincing her. We could bring her on right now. I could show her all the data in the world. I could be very polite and civil. I can make another attempt at trying to convince young women and men not to ruin their lives with stupid degree choices. I can even tell her, look, you're pretty enough that you could do theater, or not theater, or literature, or sociology, or politics, whatever you want on your channel. You're going to make more money because you're pretty. You don't have to go to college. Go to the library. Read this, read that. Do it for free. Do it on the internet. She will not listen to it because everyone else has told her that, in this particular case, college is the most important thing in life. Education is the most important thing in life, probably tied with politics. And that she has a birthright, an entitled birthright to have the college experience. Even if it destroys her financially, even if it ruins her psychologically, emotionally, she's no longer capable of falling in love, because in that particular case, and this will happen with colleges, they will convince a lot of the young ladies that they don't need a guy, and marriage is bad and husbands are horrible. Okay, we got all that. There's nothing I could say. You can even see it in her eye. I'm not a big visual person, but you can just look and see that face like, yep, that's an NPC. She's gone. There's no desire to be intellectually honest. That's a robot. You're arguing with a robot who's been conditioned by the K through 12 to do exactly what she's doing right now. She's executing follow heart, money will follow.exe. And you're not going to stop her. Because there is, I hate to say, there is no brain there. There is no sentient, independent human mind to sit and take in data and say, wait a minute, is this really, there's no one there to judge. No one. And the sooner you realize there's a lot more of those type of people out there, the better off you're going to be not getting worked up and worrying about it. Because trust you me, I did that for 20 years, man. That was my job, trying to convince people about economics and finance and reality. No one cares. And you're going to make a lot more money if you figure out how to be the professor selling her a college course for $600 a credit. To be the college bookstore where you charge that girl $300, dad or the taxpayer, $350 for a textbook. All right? You want to be the guy selling her the handbag or the book on feminism, right? You want to be the guy selling the cigarettes, selling the drugs, selling the booze, selling whatever it is that the people want to buy, because they sure the hell aren't going to buy broccoli and they sure the hell aren't going to go major in STEM. So when you, now I'm not saying don't major in STEM and become a charlatan, but going forward, when you're arguing or debating with people, assess that. But then if you ever got an entrepreneurial idea, by gosh, there's a lot more money to be made selling people lies than there's the truth. And you're going to be more popular and loved for it. And hopefully that makes your life easier. Because she's gone. She's gone. Unless she makes money on the internet, because she's reasonably cute for Gen Z. She's Gen Z cute. That'll be a joke. That'll be a saying. Maybe she makes up, but her life is over. It's just going to be filled with debt and unemployment and begging for government bailouts and living off of mom and dad and can't understand why she can't find a guy. All right. Her life is over, not yours. You could be an engineer, accountant, whatever, live in the real world, go make your $60,000, $70,000, starting. 50 would be good too. Get a house, find yourself a nice wife, maybe have some kids, have some love. And then when you're my age, you're going to start to see who's winning. Even before that, but it's going to be very clear when you're in your 50s. I'm not in my 50s yet, but it's definitely clear in your 50s. Like, wow, okay, so you have your master's in whatever, library science with your worthless undergrad, and you're perennially pissed off because the taxpayers won't pay you six figures to do the Dewey Decimal System, even though the internet has replaced the library. Oh, but you're the assistant manager of kids programs at the library. And that is what will happen, unless she's cute enough that she finds the guy. So there you go. I forgot to say that this was no $100 super chat, so we will have to answer the super chats if there are some. I'm going to go get some dinner. Today's super chat donations will go to my dinner, which will be served to me by a liberal arts major. Probably. Sam Whiskey, $5. Cappy, when do you think the brain drain will commence in America? Oh, it's already happened. Yeah, I mean, you're truly entrepreneur. Yeah, it's going to happen. Now, we get a lot of foreigners coming from other countries, but American brain, yeah, corporate inversions, Ireland, Singapore. Yeah, it's happening. It's all right. And also keep in mind, brain drain, you don't have to leave the United States or the country you're in. You just don't have to work. Like Venezuelans. Venezuela probably has a lot of very intelligent, smart people, especially oil engineers, petroleum engineers. You think they're getting up in the morning? You think they're going to help out Maduro? I mean, the Chinese, do you know? I mean, China has one of the highest IQs on average, 105. All right. The Chinese people are very intelligent, very studious is what they study more. Oh, they're just naturally smart. I think it has to do with studying. So some of the smartest and highest IT, very good math scores. See a lot of innovation or creation come out of China? No. Why? Because if you create something, the CCP takes it. So you could have that. They call it the lying flat movement. So you don't have to jettison off. Though some of the Chinese people do take off for greener pastures and make some money. Scrolling down. Alexander Wise, $2. Feel better, Cappy. I will. This is the last video for today. Maxi Mike, $5. It's almost as dumb as attaining a STEM degree along with a quality non-soy boy nutmeg tree and the antiquated start the family young route. Almost. It's. I would love to go and retweet this girl's video out, but it would get her too much traffic and put her on an easy path potentially. Because then they'd be reading, oh, big brute man, promote my channel. That'd be like the best thing to happen to her. But I'm not gonna. I'm kind of glad the kid said don't mention her name. I won't. But that she thinks that, yeah, that degree in her career is going to be better than love. Have fun, guys. Sam Whiskey, $5. I saw birds fighting over French fries at McDonald's parking lot. We can learn a lot from the animal kingdom. Wait, there wasn't a UBI government program in the bird world to just give birds free French fries? How fancy of food am I going to get here? How much? What am I going to get? I'm already at a pretty good meal right now after Google's take. Ron Suarez, $2. You can't handle the girls telling the truth. I'm all for the truth. I love the truth. Truth is great. You'll be amazed how much your standards of living improve and how happy or content, I should say, you are when you just insist on the truth. And then you take it head on and you accept it and you deal with it. It's so much easier. So much easier. And then you so don't need stuff. You so don't need stuff. Scrolling through. Scrolling. Keep. Iron Beast 72, $10. Enjoy dinner. Thank you, Iron Beast. That's going to give me some good din. Yeah, Bob Saget is dead. All right, there you go. Questions, answers, aholeconsulting.com. See you guys later. Toodles.